Hey, Matthew Coppage here with Air Show 23. I want to welcome you to part 3 of our Michael Jordan Autograph Timeline series. Today we are featuring the very rare non-cursive J variation, which Jordan signed for I've been able to find about 8 months between 1981 and 82 during that season.
So even though about 90+% of the non-cursive J variations that I have seen have come from the 81-82 season and were signed, in my estimation, in that 8-month period, there are some outliers that have other teammates from the 82-83 and 83-84 seasons. So I don't know if Jordan signed during the 81-82 season and those teammates were added later, or he signed this randomly. But there are some outliers throughout the next couple seasons.
So as you'll see on this signature, you will see very normal Michael, just like he would sign on any flat items, the calendar that was featured in part 2. You'll see he did dot the I, which stopped probably at the end of this season or around that time, so around 82. But then you'll see the J is a printed J, so it is non-cursive, and then the rest of the last name continues on like it would on anything else. So I've been able to locate about 25 of this style on generally UNC basketball. So I think about 24 of them have been on UNC basketballs. The other one I found is a jersey called the Stefanel jersey. Jordan did a tour with Nike over in Europe, a promotional tour. And if you look up Jordan shattered backboard, he actually broke a backboard. And the Stefanel jersey, the game-worn jersey from there, was signed with this non-cursive J variation. So not really sure why he chose to do it on that jersey, but he did. But this is a very rare signature variation. It's a very rare basketball. And if you're able to come across one of these, I would highly recommend you try and pick it up. These can get very pricey and very expensive, depending on what type of ball that they're on. But this one is on a 81-82 championship team signed basketball. So that's pretty cool. The nice thing about this ball, and the really interesting thing, is we can date this actually to the summer of 1981. So before Jordan even started his freshman year at Carolina was when this ball was signed. So one of the reasons we know that is because I have a letter of provenance from the father of a manager who attended this camp and was part of the camp. He gifted this to his dad, so we have that history on it. The other thing is, it is from the Carolina Basketball School, so that was the summer camp that Dean Smith ran every single year. He required his players, whether they were freshmen or upperclassmen, so even if they were starting in the fall, they had to be at that camp and actually teach the kids that were there at the camp. So we know that Jordan would have been there at this time. This is kind of the only time he would have been signing this signature style for about an 8-month period in 81-82. The other interesting fact is that Dean Schaefer is on this basketball, who was supposedly kicked off the team at some point during the season. So any championship balls that was signed when they won or during the Final Four would not have included him on it. So he is on this to date it back that far to 1981. So this is again, a very rare variation. When these first started hitting the market, I don't know, 20 years ago or so, there were a couple that hit the auction block. They did sell, they did receive authentication, but there were questions about whether this was an authentic style signature or not. What really cemented it for me in doing my research was that at the Carolina Basketball Museum at UNC in Chapel Hill, in the back part where they have the Michael Jordan featured memorabilia, there is a basketball that has this signature variation. It has the non-cursive J. It is featured as a team signed ball from this time period, this time frame at UNC. So that cemented that this is an actual Jordan style signature that he used. And so it's super exciting if you're able to find one of these. This is the favorite piece in my collection that I didn't get in person. So yeah, so stay tuned. Check out the next part, which will actually detail the change that happened at the end of 1982, the end of the 1981-82 season. So it would be kind of the NCAA championship era is what I call it. That's also a very rare signature variation where he changed his J once again, and we do it again in a few months time frame. So again, very cool, very old. This ball is about 40 plus years old, so a very unique Jordan signature. If you could add one of these, I think personally it is the highlight of any Jordan collector's collection. So thanks for joining us. Make sure to check out airshow23.com for more detailed information on all of these signature styles, and make sure to hit that subscribe button to subscribe to our YouTube channel.